Alright guys, so I wanted to do a guide letting all you lot know the 10 best Vanguard weapon loadouts in the game currently. I've tried and tested all of these into the game, and I do really think they are viable. You are going to be clapping a lot of people with this. There is obviously the issue of that a lot of these attachments that you're going to need to put in on the gun means you've got to level up the gun a little bit, which is annoying if you don't have Vanguard. You can still level them up while using them in the game. You're just going to have to slowly progress through them. The very first gun that I'm going to be talking about is the Automaton. This gun it reminds me of a faster shooting Kilo. For this setup that I'm using on it, I use the XM silencer just for the sound suppression and accuracy. There's obviously 2 silencers, but I don't want to decrease the damage range on this. Next, I'm going for the sniper barrel, which is going to give us bullet range and accuracy. The only con is hipfire accuracy, so you don't really mind too much. I then use a 2.5 times scope. This is a personal preference on all of my loadouts. If you want to go a little bit further in, start using the 4 to 8 times, go to the 4 times even, but I do like using the 2.5 for me. For the barrel, we're using the Empress broadsword. It's going to give us initial firing recoil, aim down sight speed, and recoil recovery. For the underbarrel, I'm using the M1941 hand stop. It's going to give you recoil, control, and accuracy, meaning the gun's not even going to move that much. For the magazine type, I'm going to be using the 8mm Clauser rifle 50 rounds. It's going to increase the damage, the bullet velocity, the range, the bullet penetration, and the ammo capacity. The gun's going to shoot a little bit slower, but I still rely on that heavy damage for it. As for the ammunition type, I'm going for lengthened for the bullet velocity. If you're more into the close range kind of fights, you might want to switch to incendiary. For the rear grip, we're going to be using the fabric rear grip. It's going to give us ADS speed, sprint to fire speed. Last 2 perks, we're going for tight grip, and then we're going for fully loaded, which I think is the best thing to be using on this gun. That is the Automaton loadout, and paired with it, I go for the MK11 launcher, which one-hits vehicles, ERD, Ghost, Battle Hardened, C4, and stun grenades. Moving on to the Itra Burst. Guys, remember, I've got a lot of these guns in gold already. I've tried them in Vanguard, although the weapons do play out a little bit differently in Warzone. For this, we are going for the MX silencer again. For the barrel, I go for the Perfecto 140mm rapid, which is going to increase the fire rate. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are going to think that this gun, because it's burst, it's not really meta. When you increase all of the fire rate on it, the gun pretty much shoots automatic. It's a beast. Not to be underestimated at all. Optic, I go for the 2.5, and the stock, we're using the padded grip, which is going to give us the recoil control, flinch resistance, and accuracy. Again, for the underbarrel, we're going for the hand stock, just to increase the recoil even more on the gun. Now, the magazine, we are going to be going for the 303 British 32 round mag. It's going to increase the fire rate, but decrease the damage. It is the highest magazine ammo capacity on this gun. And then I go for the hollow point to increase the limb damage. The rear grip, I use a fabric rear grip for the ADS speed. Perks, we're going for Vital, which is probably one of the best perks you're going to get on this, increasing the torso damage. And then we go for fully loaded. Itra Burst is a really good gun. It's probably going to be my favorite at the minute. Really good to use in solo and duos. If you're going into trios and quads, the only issue you're going to have with the gun is the fact that you got 32 round mags. If you really don't want to use Vital, you can go for sleight of hand just so you can reload a lot quicker. But that's what I'm using on it. The third weapon is going to be the DP27, the biscuit gun. Probably one of my favourite light machine guns if you play Rainbow Six Siege and get the reference. We're using the MX silencer on this gun. For the barrel, we're going to be using the 680. It's going to give us a lot of recoil control. It's going to reduce the sway and gun bob when you're shooting. And then I go for the 2.5 sight on this. For the stock, we've got the Empress VZV. It's going to give us recoil control, also giving us accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Obviously, you're going to be shooting a lot because it's an LMG, so I have it on. Then I go for the heavy foregrip for the recoil recovery and aiming stability. The magazine, we are going for the last one, which is the 81 round pans. This is going to give you damage, bullet penetration, more range, and it is a huge ammo capacity. For the ammunition type, I do really want to say this is a preference on what you're using on the weapon, but I do want to have the bullet velocity on it. If you have an incendiary, this gun's going to clap into close range, close mid-range. But if you're going for further, then I always go for velocity. It just feels better. For the rear grip, we're going to have the fabric rear grip as always. Next, I go for spotter just to increase the damage range on it. And then the last attachment, of course, guys, is going to be fully loaded. If you've not maxed the gun out much, I do recommend having surplus instead. The next gun we're going for, I feel like it's a little bit off meta. Not really, I can't imagine a lot of people are going to be using this at the minute. It's going to be the SVT-40. This gun is really underrated. Some of the marksman rifles are extremely powerful in this game. I go for the MX silencer on this. And then I go for the 800. Because we're going to have a larger one-hit kill area, recoil control and accuracy, and reducing scope sway and gun bob. Only problem is that the gun's going to shoot slower, but you're doing more damage because of the larger one-hit kill area. For the optic, I like going for the SVT 40 PU scope 3 to 6 times. It just feels really good on this weapon. For the stock, I go for the crown padded. You know, it's reducing the hip fire accuracy and movement speed a little bit. Hip fire, you're not doing it with a gun, but it's going to give you horizontal recoil control and a bit more ADS. For the underbarrel, we're going for the heavy foregrip for the recoil recovery, just so we can get multiple shots in without the gun recoiling too much. The magazine, we're going for the 7.62 15 round mag. Then I go for lengthened because it's more of a marksman rifle. And then for the grip, we're going for the leather grip, the ADS speed, and the aiming stability. Next perk, I go for Vital, increased torso damage with this gun, just making it even more OP than what it is. And then we go for fully loaded. That's the SVT. Another good gun to use is going to be my PPSH submachine gun for very close range. For the muzzle, recoil booster is going to increase the fire rate. Empress 140 gives it even more fire rate. 2.5 times optic, but you can change to what you like. Stock, remove stock. Tight grip, fully loaded. Grooved grip. And then you want the Russian short 35 round mag. It's going to give you even more range and damage. The hand stop. And then I use Incendiary because you're obviously so close and the burn damage is going to destroy people. Definitely my favourite close range submachine gun to use. More of a normie kind of weapon, the SGG 44. I feel like this gun is going to be good for a lot of you guys who, you know, quite new to the game. You ain't got many guns unlocked. The STG is probably going to be one of the first ones you've got. Now this is the one that I also used in multiplayer because I just feel like it is really good. For this I'm using the MX silencer. The barrel we're going to go for the VDD 760 for the damage range and just recoil control on it. 2.5 definitely for the assault rifle. For the stock, we're going for the tactical, which is going to give us aim walking speed, aim walking steadiness, and initial fire and recoil, which I think is really important as soon as you see someone. We're going for the hand stopped, which is going to give us more recoil control. The magazine is going to be the 30 Russian short 45 round. Gives us more damage, bullet penetration, and range. And then you've got the choice between either having the Incendiary to dominate in mid-range or go for lengthened if you want to hit people further away with a gun. For the grip, I'm going for the stippled grip. It's going to give us recoil, recovery, and initial fire and recoil. Mix that up, we've got Vital because it's really good, and then fully loaded. All in all, this loadout for the STG is really viable. Exhales in mid-range. The next gun is going to be the M1 Garand. This gun is really good. I feel like not a lot of people are going to be using the marksmans like, you know, the SVT that I just showed you. But this gun, there is a ground loot legendary version of it. Pick it up and you're going to see why this gun is really overpowered. We're going to go for the Cooper 25 Custom. This is going to give us recoil recovery, and that is what we need with the Garand, because when you shoot this gun, the recoil is going to fling up. You want it to be as accurate as possible just so you can get multiple shots on someone and down them really quickly. For the optic, we are going to be going for the ZF4. For the stock, we're going for the Cooper adjustable. Again, initial fire and recoil, recoil recovery, ADS, and aim walking movement speed. The underbarrel, I'll go for the hand stop again for the recoil control and accuracy. For the magazine, we are going to put the 20 round drum mag on this. It's going to give you reload quickness and increase the ammo capacity. For the ammunition type, I'll go for lengthened. The grip, we're going to have a stippled grip tape on this. And then Vital with fully loaded. This Garand is really good. Try it out in the game and you'll see why you're able to free tap people with this in quick succession. The next gun in the game is going to be the NZ41 assault rifle. This time we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to be using a recoil booster, which is going to increase the fire rate on this gun. We're going to use the Orb Weaver 360 BC, which is going to give us high accuracy and it's going to be controllable and reduces the scope sway and gun bob. For the scope, I go for the 2.5 times, and for the stock, we're going for the Orb Weaver Elite for the horizontal recoil control and aim down sight speed. For the underbarrel, I like using a hand stop as always. I think it's one of the best ones, but you unlock it later, which is a bit annoying. For the rounds, we are going for the 6.5 Sakura 50 round mags. This is going to increase the fire rate, recoil control, movement speed. It's just going to decrease the damage a little bit on it. Then we're going to be using the subsonic with the stippled grip tape. For the perk, we are going to be going for brace, which is the initial fire and recoil, just to control it even more, and then fully loaded. The NZ41 is a really nice weapon. It just feels really reliable. Close mid-range, just works every time whenever I use it. On to another LMG now. We've got the Bren. Now, this gun is not to be underestimated at all. I can imagine a few people using it in the game. There's a few bits of ground loot you can pick up that is really good. For the muzzle, we are going to be using the MX silencer for the sound suppression and accuracy. For the barrel, we're going to be using the Queen's 705 Royal. This is going to give you bullet velocity. And I think it's really important, the damage does not diminish over range, meaning you're going to be able to hit people a lot further with this thing and not worry about the range too much. For the stock, I honestly would want to leave it because, you know, the only one that you're maybe going to get a benefit from is the Oak and Shield 12B. All of the cons on this just doesn't seem worth it for what it's giving you. So I do actually like to just keep it without a stock, which is weird to say. For the underbarrel, we're going for the Mark VI Skeletal for the ADS speed. The magazine type that we're going to be using for this is the 6.5 Sakura 40 round mags. It's going to increase the fire rate on this gun. Then I actually go for Incinerary on this because it just feels like when you hit someone into mid-range with this, the burn damage along with the damage of the gun itself just seems to down people extremely fast. For the grip, we are going for the stippled grip. It is going to give us the recoil, recovery, and initial firing recoil. Mix that up, we're getting sleight of hand and fully loaded. That is the Bren, a very good weapon, not to be underestimated with them Incinerary rounds. It exiles into mid-range. Now guys, the very last attachment is going to be for the bar assault rifle. I'm going to use the MX silencer, the CGC 27-2B barrel, 2.5 times optic, the Mark VI skeletal, 50 BMG 40 round mags, lengthened, stippled grip, sleight of hand, and fully loaded. That's going to be the last loadout there. You can sort of mix and match it with that. But the bar, not too bad as a weapon. It is somewhat moderately okay at the minute. Guys, that was 10 Vanguard loadouts that you can use in the game right now. I definitely think the first couple that I showed you are really viable at this second, so you want to get in there and level them up. And as always, leave a comment on what your favorite gun is in the game right now. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you a lot later.